Can Christian McCaffrey save the season? He's not going to play against the Cowboys, but the Niners keep sort of making noises like they're hoping he'll say he's good to go after the bye week. If he is, can he save the season?
No. I mean, if you ask me if I think he's going to save the season, no. A guy with 2 Achilles who's been ridden hard, who hasn't played, and since the Super Bowl and still is not ready to play and might not be ready to play for 3 or 4 more weeks. I mean, literally, if that's what you're banking this season on, wow. I mean, really, we're going to bank on a running back with 2 Achilles injuries to come back and save the season. I will say this, though. Man, the Kyle Shanahan's red zone offense doesn't look like anything without Christian. So I hope he comes back soon.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey, would help if he could stay healthy and be the guy he was last year. Like, obviously, having the offensive player of the year back would be great. I'm not sure that guy exists anymore. I'm not sure if he comes back that he won't have a re-aggravation or something worse that I don't want to speak into existence. And then they have deeper issues that he can't address. He won't help their special teams. He won't help the fact that their defense is kind of soft and gets grounded and pounded by tough running backs in the second half. James Conner, Kareem Hunt. Can't fix
Carson
that.
Steele gashed them.
Apparently went to UCLA.
The Niners have, I like McCaffrey. He's a really talented player, but I don't know. To me, it seems like the healthier approach would be bank that he's not coming back and let him surprise you. To think that, you're going to tie your hopes to he's going to come back. Wow. I mean, how quickly things have changed in the Niner world. If their entire season is tied to a running back who's been ridden hard with 2 Achilles coming back to save the season.
Yeah, and imagine, say the Niners lose to the Cowboys this week. So let's say Debo doesn't play, Ayuk doesn't play, maybe Jennings doesn't play, maybe they're just decimated and they lose to the Cowboys. They go to the bye week and they turn to Christian and say, Christian, we're 3-5. Our season's going down in flames. Come back, save us. We know you've had no offseason, absolutely 0 offseason, and you've been healthy for about 2 weeks. Please carry us to a Super Bowl. That's not even fair to ask.
Nor does anybody believe that he has the ability to do that, to lift this entire team up. He would help, and he would make them more dynamic offensively. But, I mean, I got to think that if he's coming back, they're going to have a small, limited role and a gradual ramp up. So I don't think it's like, hey, he's back. 20 totes, 7 receptions, targeted him, try to get him the ball 30 times. I mean, it's like, that seems like a very, very tall ask, does it not?
It does. And it's like, we know the Niners are being cautious with McCaffrey, but I think it's also fair to assume that McCaffrey's being cautious with McCaffrey. I mean, he's a very high-powered athlete, and he's got his future interests in mind, and he's going to have to decide that he's ready to go as well. It's going to have to be a mutual decision that he's ready to go, and not just ready to go, but how much he's ready to do. Because I don't think he went to freaking Germany to get rushed back and carry the ball 25 times his first game back and tear his Achilles game 1. Like, that's not what he has in mind right now. He's being, I'm not going to say cautious, but I think he's trying to be smart.
To me, when you think about the fact that they extended him, so he's here beyond this year, probably the best plan, and I know nobody's going to want to hear this, but maybe the best plan is to shut CMC and Greenlaw down.
That's sort of where I was going with this. Yeah.
And just say, hey, we love you. You're here. You're a Niner. Let's pack it in and let's because I mean Greenlaw sounds like, you heard Kyle today. He was asked for a timeline on Greenlaw. He's like, well, a couple guys are going to be back in the next few weeks, and Greenlaw's a few weeks beyond that. So what we're talking about is December for a guy who ruptured his Achilles on the field in the Super Bowl on February the 11th. You know what? Why? I mean, let him get healthy, bring him back next year.
And here's the thing. Like Ayuk, he has a torn ACL, torn MCL. He's not going to be back for week 1 next year. This is going to linger into this. We have no idea when he's coming back. If McCaffrey comes back, and it's like the season was already going down the tubes, and you try to rush him back to save something that isn't savable, and God forbid he tears an Achilles mid-season, well, then next season is compromised from him too. That's 2 players that you won't have for this year and next year. It's a very serious decision the Niners got to make right now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't fault them for how they handled McCaffrey's injury, because I think the McCaffrey thing kind of came on this year. But I kind of do fault them for how they went about trying to replace Dre Greenlaw. Where's the first-round linebacker? Where's the second-round linebacker? Where's the acknowledgement that Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner were massive pillars to your defense, and that you couldn't take away a massive pillar to your defense and replace them with, I don't know, Devondre can't cover Campbell? I mean, that to me right there.
To their credit, they did finally bench him, and they put D Winters in there, who's better. But I mean, he wasn't perfect out there.
He ran out of bounds on Patrick Mahomes. He gave Mahomes 30 extra yards by running out of bounds.
Dre Greenlaw would have hit Mahomes and got a 15-yard penalty and ejected, but that's a different story.
Dre Greenlaw would have knocked Mahomes out of the game.
Right.
You know,
and himself.
And he would have gotten probably kicked out of the game. But you know what? Instead, that looks a whole lot better than, I don't know, guarding the sideline and letting the quarterback run 30 yards down the field.
Because that's going to be on Patrick Mahomes' Hall of Fame highlight reel, and so will D Winters. Sorry.
Yeah, seriously. That's he just got posterized.